children. A very good morning to all of you. In today's class, we are going to revise on the topic Worksheet 10, Verb Tenses. So before we move on to topic, let me ask you a few questions. Nia, can you tell me what is a verb is? What is a verb?
A verb is an action word that denotes an action.
Yes, verb is an action word, or it is a word that denotes an action. Now, Veda, come on, tell me, what is a tense? What do you mean by the word tense?
Verb tell us time.
Time, very good. It tells us, so these actions or these action word, as we said, verb denotes the actions, okay, tells us that verbs are action words. These actions, we may do it at different time of the day, okay? So tenses tells us when the action has taken place, okay? It tells us, the tenses tells us when the action has taken place. So these tenses are broadly divided into, Dave, come on, tell me. It is divided into?
It is divided into
Yes. It is divided into?
I
You can give
don't
the
know.
answer. Yes. These tenses, as I've already told you, these tenses tells us or indicate the time when the action has taken place. Now, these tenses are divided into how many? Bhagya, come on, tell me. Tenses in English, these tenses are divided into?
Three.
Three. Very good. What are they, Bhagya?
Present,
Present tense,
past,
past tense,
future.
future. Very good. Very good, Bhagya. All the others can mute it, okay? Okay, so now Stenan, come on, tell me. What does the present tense indicate? Stenan. Come on, Stenan. Yes, what does the present tense indicate? What does it tells us? Yes, present tense. We said that these tenses are broadly divided into three: present tense, past tense, and future tense. What does the present tense indicate?
Yesterday.
No, no, no. Present tense, present means what? What do you mean by present? Yes, Ishan? 1 minute, I'll come to you later, okay? Ishan, come on, tell me. Present tense. What does the present tense indicate? Come on, Ishan, unmute it. Yes.
What's happening now?
Yes, very good. Present tense indicate the things or what is happening now. Is that clear to all of you? Present tense indicate what is happening now or today. Is that clear? Now, Stellan, come on, tell me, what is past tense? What do you mean by the word past tense?
Yesterday.
Yes. Past tense indicate things that has already happened. Already happened means completed. The action is completed. The action, so which has already happened. That is yesterday. Yes. Now, Dan Antonio, come on, tell me, what does a future tense indicate?
Future tense. Next. Tomorrow's.
Yes, very good. That is going to happen in future.
Tomorrow.
That will happen in future. Future means tomorrow. Is that clear? So, present tense. So, the tenses are broadly divided into three children: present tense, past tense, future tense. Present tense is an action that is happening now, okay, or today. Past tense means that has already happened. Future tense means that will happen in future. So, have all of you understood? So, now we are moving on to the ways that we can write the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. There are three ways of writing the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. To indicate the present tense, how do we write the word? The word is either written, added. The word is to indicate the present tense. We either add yes or es to the verb, Okay, depending on the present, or we either keep the word as it is to indicate the present tense. Is that clear? To write the past tense form of the verb, we add either d or ed to the verb, or the rule. This rule is not applicable to all the words. For irregular verbs, the past tense completely changes. Only for the future tense, children, we'll be adding the word will before the verb. Is that clear? Okay, so the present tense, there are three different ways of writing the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. Is that clear? So for each, the rule is not applicable for all the thing. For future tense is okay, children. Future tense, you can add the word will before the word. But for the present tense and the past tense, we will have a look over it. Okay, children? So let's move on to, all of you, please be ready with your workbook. All of you, please do take page number. All of you, please do take your workbook, children. All of you, please do open your workbook to page number 16 and 17. And I hope you have learned this. I've told you to learn this by heart. Have all of you learned it by heart, children? Page number 16. Have all of you learned it? Yes. Okay. So first we'll move on to the present tense. So when we write the word present tense, all of you please, present tense. Okay, the first one. So we know present tense is a word that indicate what is happening now. What is happening? What is happening now? Now or today. Okay. So when we write the word, children, okay. So here we can see that the word scratches, the cat scratches the chair. We have added to the present tense form, we have added ed to the verb in order to show it depends upon the subject. If the subject is singular, we either add s or es to the present tense form of the verb. Okay, here the subject, since the subject is singular, we have added ed to es to it. The cat scratches the chair. Okay, she writes in her journal. Here too, we have it depends upon the subject. If the subject is singular, to the present tense form, we either add yes or es to the verb. Clear to all? Children, the present tense form. We have three forms: present tense, past tense, future tense. For each form, we have different ways of writing. If it is present tense form, we know that what is happening now. Okay, it depends upon the subject. If the subject is singular, what we have to do to the verb? Add yes or es to the verb. Okay, if the subject is plural, keep the verb as it is. Okay, so here, since the subject is singular, we have to add yes to the verb. Writes. She writes in her journal. My sister. Here the subject is singular. So we have added s to the verb to the present form of the verb. Is that clear? If you're writing the present form of the verb, we have to please see the subject. If the subject is singular, singular means one. If you're talking about one person, we have to add either s or es to the verb. If the subject is plural, please keep the verb as it is. So please do note, while we are writing the present tense form of the verb, the cat subject is singular, so we have added es to the verb. Here the subject is singular, so we have added s to the verb. Here the subject is singular, so we have added s to the verb. If the subject is plural, what do we do, children? If the subject is plural, keep the verb as it is. Have you understood? They look for clues. We dance together. So this is the present tense form of writing the verb. Is that clear? In a sentence. Clear to all of you? While we write the present tense form of the verb, we have to check the subject. If the subject is singular, add yes or yes. If the subject is plural, keep the verb as it is. So they look for clues. You must have studied this in your grade 2 class. So we dance. But how are we going to write the past tense form of the verb then? In the past tense form of the verb, we have to in the past tense form of the verb, we have to add either d or ed to the verb. But this rule is not applicable for all the words. For irregular verbs, the word completely changes. Okay, so in order to write the past tense form, we know the past tense indicate what has already happened. So in order to change the present tense into the past tense, we either add d or ed or ied to the verb, or the verb completely changes. Okay, children. So for example, all of you please do look at the examples here. She walked to the park. Here we added ed to the verb in order to indicate the verb. We have added ed to the verb walk to show that it is in the past tense. Okay, so see, look at this verb, danced. They danced to their favorite song. So we have added ed to the verb dance in order to show that the verb is in the past tense. Okay, so here, as I've already told you, this rule is not applicable for all the words. Here, sleep was the past tense form of the verb sleep is slept, is not slept. That is wrong. So we have to, the verb completely changes. So the past tense form of the verb sleep is slept. That is the reason I've told you we have to learn all these past tense form by heart. Okay, so sleep, the past tense form of the verb sleep is slept. He slept for 9 hours. The next word, children. Here, what is the past tense form of the verb eat? The past tense form of the verb eat is ate. The girl ate her dinner. It's not eat it. Eat it is wrong. Is that clear? So what I wanted to tell you is that the past tense, when we change the present tense into past tense, that adding of ed is not applicable for all the words. This rule doesn't apply for all the words. Only for certain words we add ed to change the words into past tense form. For certain other words, the word completely changes. So those words are called as irregular verbs. Those past tense form has to be learned by heart. Clear? So, not all the action verbs like to follow the rules when we talk in the past. Have you understood? So, it doesn't follow for all the verbs, okay? Now we'll move on to the future tense. Future tense, as I've already told you, an action, it indicates an action that will happen in future. But it is the easiest form. We have to add the word will. So we have to add the word will before the word. Is that clear to all of you? Okay, so for example is that tomorrow she will pray at the church. To will pray is in the future tense. So we have added the word will before the verb to show that the action is in the future tense. Okay, now we'll move on to the table. Table is very, very important. I've asked you to learn. So have all of you learned this table, children? Have you all learned this table? Yes?
Yes.
All of you? Unless, see your children, as I've already told you now, this is the present tense form of the verb. Okay, the present tense: play, walk, study, talk, pull, jump, dance, write, sing, drink, buy, think, go, drive, take. All these are the present tense form. In the past tense form, what do we do is that we either add D or ED or IED to certain words to change the verbs into past tense. But that rule is not applicable for all the words. For irregular verbs like these words, these are called as irregular verbs. What are they called, children? What they are called? Irregular verbs. For irregular verbs, the past tense form completely changes. So we have to learn it by heart. Is that clear to all? Right. The past tense form of write is what, children? What is the past tense form of the verb write? What is the past tense form of the verb write? Wrote. Okay. The past tense form of the verb write is? Past tense form of the verb write is?
Wrote.
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 The past tense form of the verb sing is?
Sang.
Sang. The past tense form of the verb sing is? Sang. Drink. Past tense form of drink is?
Drank.
Drank. Past tense form of buy is?
Bought.
Bought. Very good. Buy, bought. Think. Think.
Thought.
Thought. Very good. Think is thought. Go.
Went.
Went. Drive was the past tense
Drove.
form. Drove. Past tense form of take.
Took.
Very good. So the past tense form, children, you have to learn these words by heart. The future tense form is very easy. What we have to do to the future tense? Add will before the verb. Is that clear? Add will.
Yes.
I've already told you this is not right. That is wrong. You have to write here. It is right. Okay. So we have to add will before the present tense form. So it is will play, will walk, will study, will talk, will pull. Have you understood? Future tense is very easy, but the past tense we have to learn it by heart. Is that clear to all of you? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Who's that? Now, all of you, please do take your workbook. Okay. So all of you, please do take page number 17, children. So here we have to write the present tense, past tense, and future. Okay. All of you, please do take your workbook. The first one. Are you ready with your workbook, children? All of you, please do take page number 17. Are you ready? Teach. But Abdiel, come on. Come on, tell me the past tense form of teach.
Teach.
No, it is taught.
Teached.
No, it is taught. T-A-U. That's why I've told you these words has to be learned by heart. For each word, for irregular words, it differs. So the past tense form of teach is taught. Please do write it in your workbook, children. The past tense form of teach is taught. And the future tense form of teach is will teach. That is already there. Will teach. So I thought this, I will write it on the board for you. Yes. Will teach. Teach, taught, will teach. Ryan, are you writing? Ryan Harris? Write fast. All of you, please do write it. Teach, taught, will teach. Abdul, finished? All of you, please do write it.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I finished.
Now we'll move on to the next word. The next word is put. P-U-T, put. Children, for certain words, the present tense, the past tense will be the same. So here in this word put, the past tense form is also as put. P-U-T, put. That's the reason I've told you we have to learn the past tense form by heart. For each word, it differs. It's not the same for all the words. Have all of you understood? The past tense form differs. Children, the past tense form of each word has to be learned by heart. Okay? For each word, it differs. For certain past tense form, it's easy. We can add ed or d to the word. But for all the words, the rule doesn't apply. So what it completely changes for irregular verbs. So what we have to do is that we have to learn it by heart. And I wanted each one to write it 3 times in your rough book. The past tense form of the verb. Is that clear to all? Put a thumbs up if you've understood. Yes? So I wanted you, all of you, to learn it by heart. Okay, the past tense form of the verb. The future tense is easy, children. You have to just add will before the verb. Is that clear to all of you? But the past tense, it differs for each, for word, for every word it differs. Only for certain words, we have to just add ed or d to the word, but it doesn't apply for all the words. So in order to get thorough with the words, we have to write and study. Is that clear? So I wanted for the next class, I wanted to see you all writing all the words, all the past tense form. I don't want all the future tense and the present. Past tense form of the verb. Write it 3 times and show me before the next class. Okay, Sharu? Okay. So it is put, and will put. Will put. Clear? Now we'll move on to the third word. Here the third word is, here it is given here, will shout. So what will be the present tense form of the verb? Shout. Yes, Ronald, come on, tell me what is the present tense form of the verb? Here the future tense form is given, will shout. So what will be the present tense form? It's very easy. Here the teach is, here is also teach. Put, here is also put.
Shout.
So shout. So what will be the present tense form?
Shouted.
Shout. The present tense form is shout. The past tense of the verb will be
Shout.
shouted. Shouted.
Shouted.
Have you understood?
Yes.
All of you. The future tense will be the same, will teach. Present tense, you have to see here. The present tense form is written here. Before the verb, we have to write the word will before the verb. Okay? So will teach, will put, will shout. And the past tense form for the verb shout is shouted. Yes. Now here, the word is bring. What's the past tense form of the word bring, children? What's the past tense form of the word bring? Is brought. B-R-O-U-G-H-T. Brought. Is that clear? The past tense form of the verb bring is brought. And the future tense will be, we have to add will before the present tense form. So it is will bring. Clear? Before the present tense form, we have to add will to it. Now we'll move on to the fifth word. Here it is given there, flew. So what will be the present tense form of flew is fly. It is fly, flew, fly, flew, and the future tense form, children, it is will fly. Okay? Will fly. Clear? And the sixth one is break. B-R-E-A-K, break. What's the past tense form of break is? Break. Break is broke. Break, broke. Past tense form of break is broke. And here it is will break. Will break. Fly, flew. Break, broke. This is like tables, children. You have to learn it by heart. Fly, the past tense form of fly is flew. The past tense form of break is broke. Seventh one. Lift. L-I-F-T, lift. So what will be the past tense form of the verb lift is lifted. Carry. C-A. Children, if you're not able to finish it now, it will be sent in the WhatsApp too. Okay? I'll send it to the WhatsApp. Carry. Carried. Is the past tense form of carry is carried. Okay? And the future tense form of carry is will carry. Will carry. Please do write it. And the ninth word is, it is will where it is given. So we have to write here where, W-E-A-R, where. The past tense form of where is wore, W-O-R-E, wore. And the future tense form of where is will wear. Okay? And the last word we are in, the 10th word is that's it. Okay, here it is will sit. So what do we write there? Here it is sit. The past tense form of sit is sat. Sit is sat. And here it is the future tense form of the verb is will sit. Clear to all? So please copy it down and see that you have to copy down into your workbook. The notes will be sent through WhatsApp. And I wanted all of you to write the past tense form of the verb 3 times in your workbook. Is that clear? Children, have all of you finished?
Yes.
Yes. Children, it will be sent, the notes will be sent through WhatsApp, and I wanted all of you to learn the past tense form by heart. Past tense a little bit, we have to, unless we learn it by heart, children, we'll be not be able to do it well. Okay? So for the test paper even, the word will be given and you will be asked the past tense. We should be able to do it. So I wanted all of you to be very thorough with the past tense form. Future tense is very easy. Just add will before the verb. Okay?
Okay,
So have
ma'am.
all of you understood? So it's time for us to
Yes.
wind up today's session, children. So bye-bye, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very good.
Have a nice day. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you,
Have
children.
a nice